Hello students, let's continue with our optical isotope. Today we will study about the resolution of racemic mixture. Now racemic mixture is actually, as we have already understood, racemic mixture is a mixture of two enantiomers, that is the D and L form of enantiomer. So, usually, whenever we carry out any synthesis, we get the product into the form of racemic mixture. Now, if we want to separate them into D and L forms separately, then such type of requirement is needed in case of when only one particular enantiomer is medicinally important. So now we can define the term resolution. Resolution is actually separation of the racemic mixture into its respective dextro and levo components is called as a resolution. Now since the enantiomers have the same physical properties like solubility, boiling point, melting point, because of that, they cannot be resolved uh, by simple technique like crystallization or distillation or basic chromatography, which techniques are used generally for separation of number of compounds from the mixture. So there are special techniques which are to be adopted to carry out the separation of the racemic mixture. So there are five methods which have been mentioned here, like mechanical separation, biochemical method, chemical method, kinetic method, and selective absorption. So the first one is the mechanical separation. Now, if the dextro and the levo forms of the substance exist in the well crystalline forms, then the separation can be done by adopting this type of method. That means the dextro and levo form should have different crystalline form, and in that case we just can pick up the crystals from the mixture with the help of forceps by using the magnifying lens. For example, the dextro and levo forms of sodium ammonium tartrate can be separated by this type of technique. Now, as we can understand from that, this method is very tedious, and because of that it is having very limited applications. So that is about the first method of the resolution. The second resolution method is the biochemical method. Now in this method the resolution is effected by destroying one form, either the dextro form or the levo form, by a reaction or by the process that is called as a biochemical process. When certain microorganisms like yeast, molds, and bacteria uh, are allowed into the solution of racemic mixture to grow, then what they will do? They will assimilate one form from the mixture, and they will keep the another form selectively, and thus ultimately one form will be completely utilized by the organism, and the another form will be left in the solution, and after that it can be isolated by fractional recrystallization. So this is one of the useful method, but this is having an disadvantage that of the total mixture, half of the material get destroyed because that is taken up by the microorganisms. Then comes up the third method, that is chemical method. Now this is the method which is generally used for the resolution of the optical isomers. In this case, The racemic mixture is mixed with another suitable optically active isomer, and once the reaction is over, it forms two diastereomer salts, and after that they can be separated because of the difference in their properties like solubility and other properties. So, and then it can be recrystallized by fractional crystallization. So, after the separation process, then the diastereomer, actually we have separated our optical isomer into a diastereomer form. So, once the separation is completed, we can convert the diastereomer back into its enantiomer by the suitable treatment with acid. Then comes out the fourth method, that is called as the kinetic method. So when the optically active substance is treated with the racemic mixture, then the enantiomers in the racemic mixture, they react at different rates, and that can be utilized for separation of the mixture. For example, in case of menthol, which is treated with with the racemic mixture of mandelic acid, it is observed that menthol reacts faster with the dextromandelic acid than the levomandelic acid. And in such case, the dextro form of ester, mandelic ester, will be formed faster than the levo form. And thus, the product which is obtained will be like the dextro ester more than that of the levo ester. And after that, it can be separated. The fifth method is the selective adsorption method. Here, in this case, the racemic mixture is allowed to pass through a column which is an adsorbent that is optically active in nature. In such particular setup, the racemic mixture, which upon pouring onto the column will be absorbed, only one enantiomer will get absorbed over the adsorbent, and the another enantiomer will pass down the column into the solution. So this means the separation is easily done as one enantiomer will remain with the adsorbent in the column, and another enantiomer will pass out of the solution down the column method. Then next topic is racemization. Now racemization is actually exactly opposite to that of the resolution. Resolution is the process of separation of the racemic mixture into two dextro or LIGO form. Now racemization is the process of converting an optically active compound, whether it is a dextrorotatory or a LIGO-rotatory, into its racemic mixture using a suitable experimental conditions like heat, light, or certain chemical reagents. So this process is called as racemization. Now this process involves change of half of the active compound to the isomer of the opposite rotation, and that's how the racemic mixture is formed. For example, if we take any compound which is dextrorotatory, if we take 2 moles of A and if we carry out the reaction under the influence of suitable experimental conditions, then at the end of the reaction we can see that out of the 2 moles, 1 mole of the sample is converted, 1 mole of the dextroisomer is converted into the LIGO isomer, and 1 mole is as such in the dextro form. So that means we have got a mixture of dextro and LIGO isomer of the substance. The optically active hydroxy acids like lactic acid or malic acid or tartaric acid, which contain hydrogen on the carbon, that is alpha position to the carbonyl carbon, generally undergo racemization in presence of base, which means that every optical isomer cannot undergo racemization. Only those compounds, or particularly the hydroxy acids, which contain the hydrogen on the carbon, which is at the alpha position of the carbonyl carbon. So they have carboxyl group that is adjacent to the asymmetric carbon, and the optically active substances which do not have a hydrogen atom at this carbon, they cannot undergo. That means all such compounds which contain a hydrogen at the alpha position to the carbonyl carbon can undergo racemization. All other optically active isomers which do not contain such type of position of hydrogen cannot undergo racemization. Here we can see, for example, racemization of lactic acid. Now here, racemization of one enantiomer by heating takes place through formation of an enol, and then it changes to another enantiomer. We can see here the dextrolactic acid is taken in 2 moles, and when it is heated, it is getting converted into the enol form, okay, which is D-enol, and this is unstable. So what happens? It then changes into another enantiomer, and that's how we get the mixture, that is the racemic mixture of lactic acid. Another example is of racemization of tartaric acid. Now, when this tartaric acid is heated for some time at 160 degrees, then it loses optical activity and it forms the racemic mixture and the meso acid. Now, this is because we can see here the dextro and the levo form of tartaric acid, and also the meso form, which is generally a racemic mixture. Now this is possible because tartaric acid has two asymmetric carbon atoms which may undergo inversion of hydrogen or hydroxy group about one of the chiral carbon, and because of that the meso acid is formed. And when it undergoes the inversion about both the chiral carbon, then it gives the racemic form of acid. So that is how we can carry out the racemization of the optical isomers. The third point which we can understand here is about the asymmetric synthesis, which is also called as chiral synthesis. So when a compound which contains a chiral carbon atom is synthesized by ordinary lab methods from a symmetric compound, then the product is a racemic mixture, which means that any compound that contains chiral carbon atom, right? It is synthesized by ordinary lab methods from a symmetric compound. The product is a racemic mixture. Always, whenever we want to convert any symmetric compound into the optically active form, then usually it is a racemic mixture. But when this synthesis we carry out in presence of suitable optically active agent, then we can successfully synthesize any one of the isomer, that is the dextro stereoisomer or the levo isomer. So for this we have to maintain suitable experimental conditions. So, from this we can easily understand the definition of chiral synthesis as a process in which a chiral compound is synthesized from a symmetric compound to form either a dextroisomer or a levoisomer is called as asymmetric synthesis or chiral synthesis. Here we have an example of this chiral synthesis. When we we take an example of pyruvic acid and we carry out reduction in two different methods. In the first way, we carry out the reduction of pyruvic acid with nickel catalyst. So, if we see the product which is obtained, we get the dextrolactic acid as well as the levolactic acid. That is, the product is a racemic mixture of lactic acid because we get both the isomers in half of amount. So, racemic mixture is obtained. But if we carry out the same reduction reaction, not in presence of nickel, but if we carry out the reduction by yeast, then if we see the product which is obtained, the lactic acid is actually the levoisomer only is obtained and dextroisomer of lactic acid is not obtained. So pyruvic acid upon reduction in presence of nickel catalyst gives the racemic mixture of lactic acid and in presence of yeast it gives levo form of lactic acid. Here are few of the important questions to practice which include like what is stereoisomerism, then what is the racemization, what is about the asymmetric synthesis, and moreover there are certain multiple choice questions which are also important from this topic. These are some of the references. Thank you.